Hello and welcome to this short demo on how Ansible Automation Platform with MCP servers, which are in tech preview, can help your IT and syseng teams solve challenges faster. Now, what is an MCP server? An MCP server is a communication layer between Ansible Automation Platform and any AI model. It utilizes API calls to do that communication. So what we have here is Red Hat's Ansible automation platform that in the backend has MCP server installed. And we also have a website that is running on Nginx, which I will show you right now, which we will utilize for this demonstration. So for instance, I have a website running right there. That's the website hosting service Nginx, or should I say application server, depends how you like to call it. And I am going to break that. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to add a underscore, for instance, to send file. And I'm going to restart it. As you can see, it is broken. It is not working. We can see that also on the site itself. It is broken. So what we can utilize is we can either go and Google ourselves, open multiple tabs, go through a whole lot of head banging and trying to figure out what the issue is by first having to diagnose it manually and then having to search for an answer. Or we can utilize AI to help us with all of this. What you see here is a VS Code, Visual Studio Code, with an Ansible extension, which is Red Hat's extension for VS Code that can help you hook into the MCP server. It can help you hook into what's next code assistant, Google Gemini, or any Red Hat AI. With any purchase of Ansible Automation Platform, you get 60 days of what's next code assistant for free. And that's why I'm hooked in here. You can generate playbooks, you can generate roles, you can explain playbooks and do much more. But right now I'm connected to all of this stuff through Cursor, so I'm going to be showing it through there. So what you're seeing here is, and I asked it, can you tell me please which MCP servers I'm utilizing for Ansible Automation Platform and GitHub? And as you can see here, I am connected to Ansible Automation Platform and GitHub using an MCP server. You can see that through the configuration here as well. And so what we are going to do is we're going to ask it to create a diagnose playbook and put it in my GitHub repo for my usage to actually sync the repository to Ansible Automation Platform and create a template and run it. So please create an Ansible playbook to diagnose those errors on Nginx on a rel base server and put it in let's encrypt repo on GitHub using GitHub MCP. So now it is utilizing a GitHub MCP to actually it's utilizing the AI portion to generate my playbook for diagnosing the issue with Nginx, and it's putting it in my repository on my GitHub side. It's currently utilizing the local sites just to create the playbook, to define everything that it needs to define in the playbook itself, and then it's going to use the MCP to push that file in my GitHub repo. So it's currently parsing the file contents, basically creating the diagnose Nginx rel. And it's planning its next moves. It usually runs much faster the second time around if you need to utilize it a second time around for the same job. But my suggestion is utilizing event-driven to have those certain use cases already baked into the to bake it into the Ansible automation platform so that you can so you don't rely constantly on AI doing the same job over and over again because that's a little bit redundant towards the AI itself. And yes, it writes playbooks in real time, so it grabs data from what it learned previously, so what it was trained with, as well as it can go online and grab additional data if it needs to see how to actually diagnose Nginx on RHEL. So it's grabbing different types of inputs for what the file, or should I say, what the diagnosed Nginx file should look like, and it's putting all that together while also testing the actual configuration, the actually Ansible file to create the playbook. So it's testing it and making sure that it should run properly. And as you can see here, it has created that file. We can see that file right here. So it's going through a lot of different things, showing that Red Hat, it's grabbing the correct OS, that is grabbing to see if the package is installed, to see what the state is, to grab any type of output from testing Nginx, to see the journal, to see everything, the log statuses, error statuses on Nginx, and tries to start it and all of that to see what's going on. And all we have to do is basically go here on Ansible Automation Platform, go to projects. All we have to do is sync the actual Let's Encrypt projects that has the playbook on top of it. And after it syncs the jobs, as MCP server is currently in tech preview, it cannot sync a project and it cannot create a template. Those are two things that it cannot do at the moment while it's in tech preview. And let's say diagnose Nginx, inventory that server, let's encrypt repository, and I diagnose Nginx playbook. Password for the actual machine, create and launch. So now it's going through that playbook that we created. It's going task by tasks basically and diagnosing Nginx to see if it can catch the error that I created. This should be pretty, or should I say fairly quick. It is done. So now if I open my cursor back up and say, hey, based on my last AP job that diagnosed Nginx, create a playbook that will fix Nginx and put it in my Let's Encrypt repo. Using AAP and GitHub MCP. So what this is doing is actually going to see, oh, as you can see, it caught it right away. So it's going to check my AAP MCP, which means it's going to check my jobs, see what the jobs are, see what the last job was, check that it was a Nginx diagnosis. It will go into that one and it will show, yep, there it is. It caught what the error was in the configuration file from my last job and is currently creating a fix for that. It's currently creating that playbook, and as you can see, it's wrote it in real time. It wrote what it needed to write for the fix itself. And now it's pushing the actual fix file to GitHub. Running the push. And this is deleting from the host itself and pushing it to GitHub. And it's there. So let's see that. And fix Nginx rel send file. that should be it. So all I need to do is sync my project again and create a template to do the actual fix. So, all right, should be syncing any second now. Watching a little bit of page drive, that's okay. So fix Nginx, and select the inventory, select the project, select the playbook, and then do credentials, create, and launch. Basically, what I did was prompt twice and actually just sync twice, create a template twice, launch twice, and that's it. And if everything is properly working out, I should be able to just refresh the site and it's working. So we have a full-fledged use case where we broke Nginx and fixed it in minutes utilizing this without having to know what actually broke. And all I had to know is that my playbook is not doing anything crazy when it's doing the diagnosis, and that it's not doing anything crazy while it's fixing the actual issue, because I went through the playbook and I know what it's trying to do. As you don't ever want to just do something, build it, and not look through it. You always want to check your files. Now, why you would want the Ansible automation platform in the middle of all of this is because of the event driven. So I have a website down here that is monitoring for my website going down. And I can place this template that I just did for a fix in my workflow. I can push it into a workflow for my website down, for instance, something like this, where I open a tickets for service now. I check if it can restart. I can also import, hey, check if it's this issue, resolve it utilizing the template that I have. If not, diagnose the issue and make sure it stays diagnosed so that I can later on utilize my AI to fix the diagnosis, create a playbook, and then input it into event driven. Now, why would I want to keep more and more inputs into event driven, or should I say more and more rules that would monitor things? It's because the way AI works. It's because if you import a model, input your data, it utilizes money, or should I say, it utilizes models that utilize tokens, usually online, and utilizing different models can cost a lot of money. And if you're just using the tokens to generate playbooks, that is great, as that doesn't utilize too much money. But if you're constantly utilizing to do the same exact tasks over and over and over again, you're utilizing a lot of money. Like, let me give you a perspective of Uber used all of its token spend, which is in billions of dollars in the first 4 months, just because they utilized things, repetitive tasks on it, and they utilized a lot of tokens that could have been saved utilizing Ansible automation platform and the event driven. And thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did making it, and have fun automating. Thank you.